Hey there, it's Ryan Reynolds, and you are listening to Fearless in Devotion, the absolute worst podcast in all of football history. Go get them, guys.
Here they come, our mighty champions, raise your voices.
Cross on all, welcome back to the award-winning Fearless in Devotion podcast, sponsored, as you all know by now, by the Fat Boar, one of the finest establishments, if not the finest establishment in Wrexham, although there are others, aren't there, Andy, across the Wrexham area?
What, just Rich Watkins Empire, or can I say any pub?
I don't know of any others. I don't know of any others personally.
No, never
Okay, fair enough. I'd say it's the finest place on York Street apart from the sex shop.
There we go. You heard it here first. We are here to discuss the Millwall game.
Whoa. Before
I was going to do it. Relax. Don't share your screen. Don't share your screen.
All right.
Flashing up now.
He's getting too excited. We win one match and he gets all excited.
I know. Flashing up now is a QR code, which for those of you listening is a load of black and white dots and squiggles. Just imagine it. Picture it in your head. However, if you're watching this on YouTube, scan that now and you can do what, Andrew?
You can get the Wrexham is the Game newsletter. Barry gets it. He's been in it more than once. The promotion offer runs out on Monday or Tuesday. So get Tuesday, I think. Tuesday, right. So you've only got till then to get it for the introductory £15 for the first year. So time is running out. I can't say when that offer is going to come back on. So fill your boots now, please. Get it now. What are you doing? Don't stop listening to this. Go and get it.
Wow, go and get it. And if you're listening and you're wondering who Barry is, it's Barry Jones, the chairman of the Wrexham Supporters Trust, who's joining us as a guest today. Hello, Barry.
Good evening, chaps.
Good evening. And yeah, also, is there going to be a celebrity in this week's newsletter, isn't there, Mr. Gilpin?
Oh, have you actually done it?
I haven't done it yet, but I will do it.
The classic, I'll do it Sunday for you.
Moving on, because Wrexham have the first win of their campaign in the Championship, and it's all very exciting. Tim, you look delighted by it. Are you delighted by it?
Yeah, I'm thrilled.
Good.
Utterly thrilled. Yeah, we won, clean sheet. I wasn't there, so.
Oh, right. Well, that hasn't killed the mood at all. I was there. Yeah.
The big London Reds. Andy, sum it up for us. I mean, against the run of play was how the chap on Final Score described the Keiffer Moore goal.
Nah, I think we contained them pretty well. I thought it was going to be like this. I had a sneaky feeling we'd do it. I thought it was two very physical sides. We'd cancel each other out. And I actually thought we had a bit more quality than them with the money that we've spent. And that proved to be true. But O'Brien had a great game. Doyle and Kakache looked really strong down the left. And I think that's where we've been quite vulnerable over the last couple of weeks. So it's nice to see we've addressed that. Doyle will be a great player for us. Yeah, O'Brien did well. But Moore, he's just, I know I said this a couple of weeks ago that while he's been every other club's plan B or plan C, he's plan A, and everything works around getting more into the game. And, you know, the lad is actually an athlete. He's a bit quicker than you think he is. He's got good touch. He is such a nuisance in the air, and you could see how brave he is going in with the keeper for that opening goal. So, yeah, I think he's been our most important signing. It's always the ones that you don't really think a lot of that impress you the most, isn't it? I remember when we signed Jay Harris about 10, 15 years ago, and I went, what have we signed him for? He just seems another Chester reject. What's he going to bring? And then he was my favourite player for three years. So, you know, it's the little ones that surprise you.
Just goes to show. Barry, who stood out for you, mate? You were there.
Keiffer Moore, O'Brien, this Doyle. Wow, what a player he is. He impressed me at Preston on Tuesday as well. He was really good. That's our first away victory in the Championship level since December the 5th, 1981.
What was number one in the charts?
I don't know. I just know we won 3-2 away at Cambridge. Ian Edwards scored twice, and Vyner the other one. The only game we lost that season when we got relegated was away at Sheffield Wednesday. We won 3-0 in October.
Wow.
And Dixie scored twice.
Were you there?
Sadly, no.
I
went on Wednesday before we went up, but look.
Quickly, Andy, we'll get on to Snackgate soon, but tell me first of all about the atmosphere. What was it? Was it really good?
I went 20 years ago, and the Millwall fans were a lot more intimidating than they were yesterday. I know it's sort of gentrified a little bit, and the lads in the corner were giving it large, and one lad lost his absolute mind from about 38 minutes to 42 minutes, lad in a denim shirt. But I thought we rode that pretty well. I think that what was different was we filled our away end, and we made such a cracking din there that we were able to give it back to Millwall even. And we didn't feel intimidated on the pitch or off it.
Yeah.
So the atmosphere was great, wasn't it, Barry? It was
when they make that noise, fair dues, it is intimidating. But I've never seen a ground so empty, considering it was a sellout. Everybody, all the Millwall supporters, they'd all gone.
Yeah.
At the end. Oh,
even before the second goal.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then we got held back. All of us who were on the train, we got held back. The police have got it quite well organised there these days. I'm old enough to remember when it wasn't organised, and it wasn't.
Do you know what, that bottleneck that we were in, Barry? If there wasn't police and mounted horses there, could have got really nasty.
Yes.
And also, I think it gives both sets of fans a license to wind the others up, because they know they can do it through the barrier of the police. But it could have got a lot more tasty than it was without that police.
Well, definitely.
That's what hooliganism is these days, isn't it? Hold me back. Hold me back. And there's no one there to hold them back.
Maybe.
Anyway, Tim, I'm sure you have seen it all over, and you're being tagged in stuff. The usual comments that we've all been looking forward to in the Championship have arrived, which is the worst team we'll see all season. You won't win anywhere else. Have they been quite enjoyable to read? I found them enjoyable to read.
Yeah, it's kind of half expected, wasn't it? They're just saving face at the end of the day. But obviously, I'm not qualified to say how well we played on the whole. But having seen the highlights, you make your own luck, don't you? And it was nice to see James and McLean get an assist for the second goal, particularly nice. And what an assist it was, by the way, outside of the boot. Max's assist for Keiffer Moore's goal is tremendous. What a cross that is!
Yeah,
what a cross. And I've got one thing that I'm slightly miffed at, and I wasn't sure whether to mention it, but I'm going to mention it. And hopefully it's just a throwaway comment. But when I listened back to the commentary, and Mark Griffiths was doing it, and when Keiffer Moore obviously took a bloody nose with that challenge, I'm not sure what Keiffer Moore said to the keeper as he raced on by him to celebrate. I think this keeper's clattered him, then tried to feign injury himself. But Mark Griffiths is like, well, if he's out for Kazakhstan, I'd rather that than him be out for QPR. That's not the attitude to have. Like, we're getting like Welsh internationals to play for Wrexham, to represent Wrexham on the international stage. So I'm hoping that was just a throwaway comment, because we want Keiffer Moore to be in the Welsh squad to get us over the line to get to the World Cup next year. So yeah, that kind of give me a little bee in a bonnet moment there, to be honest. But maybe I'm just very, very kind of being that Welsh. What Andy said then about, I wasn't too asked about Keiffer Moore. I was super asked about having him. Because of what he brings to the table.
No. But what I mean is, you're spending £7-8 million on a player, and it's the one that costs a fraction of that, and is maybe coming to the end of his career, is the one that really surprises you. Now, I've seen a lot of Keiffer Moore as well. I just didn't know he was that good over 90 minutes, and maybe that's what surprised me. I always thought he was an impact player, but no, that lad can put a shift in over a whole game.
Andy, why do you hate Wales? Why do you hate Wales so much? What is it within you that hates your country so much that you don't love Keiffer Moore?
Despises it.
I hate daffodil hats. That's what really daffodil hats, and what else do I hate?
Leaks.
Inflatable.
Oh no, I love leaks. Leaks are great. I know what I hate.
Leak kit next year.
South Wales. Well, I was going to say Andy's been out drawing St George's crosses on mini roundabouts, which someone has done on my local roundabout. Unbelievable.
Why have they not done a Welsh flag? Is it too complex? You need a stencil.
I don't know, but it's it's caused quite some concern on the local Facebook group.
Tin of red paint in the back there, mate.
Pardon?
Is that a tin of red paint behind you?
Very good. Very good. Liam, you must be delighted. You look thrilled as well.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I've got a kids' party out of the way, so my weekend's been amazing.
Yeah.
I've survived a kids' party and Wrexham have won 2-0, so I'm genuinely thrilled with life. I thought that was a really good performance, though. You know, we got all the fucking worst team to come here. We've had all that.
Yeah.
I can take that all day long because I just thought we actually got it spot on, and the little things, the little differences made the change for me. I think Kakache on the left, Doyle, their left centre back. We just looked a lot more solid with those players there, and Keiffer Moore is just like perfect for parky ball. Basically, God thought, what can I create that is perfect for parky ball? And he said, I'm going to create myself a big unit. And I don't know, I love the man already.
And we shall call him Keiffer, and he shall deliver.
Yeah. And
I can't get over Dick Van Randall's dodgy fucking accent. You fucking would say this. Oh man.
I apologise for the
team
the green
played. They may say we're the worst team they've played because the other team they played was Middlesbrough, and Middlesbrough beat them 3-0 at the Den. So technically, we are the worst team they've played so far because we've only beaten by 2-0.
I tell you one player who will be out for Kazakhstan, Danny Ward. Which massive blow. I looked really serious. Like his leg was going up and down. Like you could tell it was. Like
he was ordering the Mackies on the way home, though, wasn't he?
No, I know. I saw that. It's good, that isn't it? Definitely. Why is he still in his full kit?
I thought, well, he obviously been in hospital, and then he still got didn't have time to change. So yeah, it's a massive blow. That I feel so sorry for him because he's come in with the sort of aim to be number one. He's got it straight away. He's lasted a month and got, is it broken arm, I believe?
Elbow, arm, maybe something.
I tell you what we need. We need some sort of person who's really good medically and, you know, predicts injuries and their impact really well.
Dr. Williams?
How long is he out for, Reese?
He's going to be out a while.
Oh,
you heard it here first. I'm going to say 4 months. He'll be back in January.
Whoa!
He'll be back in January for the Leicester game.
Have we got enough there? Have we got enough? Do we need to bring anyone?
We need another keeper. We need another keeper.
Yeah,
we do. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, because Arthur came on and that save he made to keep the clean sheet was tremendous.
Yes.
Such a good reaction save with his right hand. So he obviously takes number one spot straight away there. Callum Burton is a very, very good backup, but with the amount of competitions you've got up and coming, and there's still this question mark about whether Arthur can play for Nigeria in the African Cup of Nations. I don't know.
Not this year, is it? I think that's next year.
Yeah.
Well, it's Christmas time, isn't it?
It's usually January.
Yeah, I don't think it's this year though. I think it's next year, but let me check that.
I just think you're a stable of 4 good goalkeepers, don't you? And we're 1 down, so I just don't think you can, because ultimately Callum Burton is now going to start the Carabao Cup games. You'd like to think straight away. So just feel so sorry for Danny because he's come in. He was probably almost certainly going to get the Wales spot back because he was playing.
Yeah.
And Darlow's not, and so we send all of our wishes to him, and hopefully he comes back stronger.
Agreed.
It is 2027, by the way.
Well, I've got here Africa Cup of Nations, 21st of December 2025 to 18th of January 2026.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
Did you just skip one?
Yeah.
Wait.
Where is it? Whatever it is, I don't believe it should be held in that country.
He hates the AFCON.
We need Dick Van Randall to give Andy a rant in that voice.
Fucking hell. Stop swearing. It's bad for the,
algorithm.
Things. Yeah.
Fuck off. Get on with it.
Right. Okay. So do we need someone if Danny is not back? If Danny's out, they reckon it'll be 2 or 3 months, and they think he'll be back for Christmas. Do we think? I suspect they will leave it.
Yeah, because I think they got Arthur, they've got Callum, and the good thing is, even when the window shuts, you can still do emergency loans, and there is always keepers that you can get from clubs. So I think they'll be all right there. I don't think they'll bring anyone in. So yeah, you heard it here first, and you turned yourself on mute.
True. Right. One shout I was going to say. Obviously, I didn't have the the pleasure of being at the Den on Saturday. However, I did see the highlights, and I thought one underrated moment was Kakache's block for the free kick in the wall, which looked to me because the commentator said, "Oh, hit the wall" and stuff, but he quite clearly had a very quick reaction to block that, and that could have snuck in. But good to have him back.
He's good. He will get better. I thought he was very, very strong, and the engine on the fella. Like he was up and down, up and down. I think there's a bit more quality to come in an attacking sense as he gets to sort of learn where to put it and how early to deliver. But defensively, and that's the key part you want in an away performance, he was spot on. I'm really impressed with him.
He's involved with New Zealand, isn't he, during this international break? Yeah. When is that second game? Because I'm just mindful that, I know we've got QPR on the following Saturday.
Don't ask Andy. I'll look at it.
So I'm just curious because obviously, there's a lot of travel regarding him. There's a lot of travel regarding Keiffer Moore, Broadhead, and just those two now. But so I'm just trying to figure out.
Oh no, that's the women.
Significant enough gap for them to recover and all that sort of stuff, or if Parker would be forced to rotate.
It's a good question. And 5th of September and the 9th of September.
Going to be tight, that.
Tuesday, the 9th of September, and they're playing Australia in New Zealand.
Oh, he's not going to feature in that QPR game. Well, he could, but...
Yeah, it might be a tough ask. But he's got a big engine. He just needs to learn where to put it, according to Andy. So, Andy, could you tell us...
Smut is okay, but swearing isn't.
That's not smut.
That's innuendo. That's a double entendre.
Exactly. Not Tim, Andy.
A double entendre, not even double entendre, a double entendre.
A double entendre. Andy, you were furious with the standard of your burger.
Well...
You got a picture?
We'll put a picture on. It's on my...
Here's a picture of Andy's burger. Describe it to us.
So, if I had to rate it all, I would rate the bun as was nice. So I'm going to give that 7 out of 10. Onions, nice. Cheese, good. It wasn't like it was like proper cheese, not just a slice. But the actual pate, what is happening there? It's like someone's opened a tin from Aldi and boiled something. It was absolute. What's a joke that is? And what also like £9. £9 for that. £10 if you wanted some bacon on it. Actually, and it is another bugbear of mine, £1 for some cheese. Oh, you've got me started on that now. Look.
I paid £10 for a jacket spud in Preston, but that was worth it.
Have you got any thoughts about Andy's burgers? Please put them in the comments.
He's confusing by saying pate instead of patty.
Also, can we just can I nail something as well? Are we calling Aldi Aldi? Is that how we're pronouncing
Aldi?
Okay.
Are we just having a go at me for how I pronounce things now?
All right, Patty.
All right.
Right, let's move on to the reason that we've got
MasterChef.
No, okay.
What could go wrong?
Andy, we have an esteemed guest today in Barry Jones. Let's ask him some very pertinent questions that we have about the football club and wider issues.
All right, let's do that. Barry, I know you've been fielding a lot of questions over the last 18 months of what is the point of the Wrexham Supporters Trust? Well, did you sort of feel the week before last where the Wrexham Supporters Trust really stepped in on quite a sort of controversial issue and made a difference, that you're sort of pointing people towards, yes, this is why we need an independent fans body? What I mean is the banner. It was a quite strong statement from WST, and I think that it really helped the club listen, didn't it?
Absolutely. I was very proud of what we did. Came up for those who've been away. Sheffield Wednesday, SWFC, not for sale, enough is enough. The club, a junior employee of the club, wanted to ban it. Well, we've had banners at Brighton and Brentford and places when we were in desperate straits. And I thought it was wrong. The rest of the board thought it was wrong. Because we sit on the Football Supporters Association, the FSA Championship Network Board, I was able to contact the Wednesday Trust direct to say, what can we do? And they asked us, would we write to the club? So I did. We agreed a statement, sent it to Michael Williamson, Rob Faulkner, to say, come on, this isn't what we're about, or I paraphrase that, of course. Then we issued a public statement to show that we were actually standing with Sheffield Wednesday. And lo and behold, the club changed its stance, and I've moved on to, obviously, selling the shirts, which I just think was a great idea, the profits of which will go to Sheffield Wednesday Trust, but the club are going to send the profits to the Wrexham Supporters Trust so that we can then pass them on to Wednesday. I don't know what the number is. We haven't received the money yet, but we're expecting that fairly soon. It was really good. And Tim, thank you for joining. The publicity we got from that, you and 25 others joined the trust since then. It's been great. Our numbers are edging up to 900 members now.
Let's break the 1,000 mark soon then. That's that. Because like I said to you, I brought to your attention the other day, Barry, was you're still going to get people who say, yeah, that's all very good and it's very noble. However, so there's still some detractors in that. But like I said to you, the reason I rejoined was because of that, really. Kind of brought into sort of sharp focus how vital it is and how important the FAB can be going forward as well. So I just thought, like I said, I didn't purposely cease my membership with the WST ages ago. I just kind of refocused, and it's easy to go, well, we don't need the WST anymore because we've got these wonderful knights in shining armour, and that's really not the case. And that was a little bit naive of me to think otherwise.
We are there to hold the club to account, and we're also recognised as an important body. The other week, we were approached by the Department of Culture, Media and Sport, and Martin Henderson, who will be the new independent football regulator. His office asked, could he meet us? It was a teams meeting in the end, and we were the 12th club that he contacted to have a one-to-one face meeting with. He's only seen 36 clubs, and bear in mind there are 116 clubs covered by the new football governance bill. So I feel that we must be doing something right for them to want to talk to us. A few years ago, we wouldn't have been anywhere near a 12th club on his list to have a meeting with. It was an informal meeting. They wouldn't let us publish any minutes, but it was very positive. And when he takes up his office on November the 1st, because that's when all this comes into being, it'll be, I think it can't be any worse than the situation we got now with the Chanceries of this world. We're just, running Wednesday down.
I think that's a good move forward.
We were, it was a good meeting, and he spent an hour of his time with us, and that was fantastic. So that was good. So we mentioned the FAB, the Fan Advisory Board, which has been a bit of a stop-start sort of endeavour for the club. I think it's trying to start again. I know WST have had some representation on it. I think the first meeting was last week on the 28th. Yeah,
and I think top of the agenda was season tickets, and would they go to family members if a season ticket holder passes away? Is there anything you can tell us about it? That
the meeting itself took place, and Dale Webb, who's one of our members, said it was a great meeting. The new format is exciting. The new format meets the FSA best practice guidelines. It was us who pointed out to the club that the old CAB, the Community Advisory Board, didn't, and we put forward proposals for them to reformulate it. And I'm pleased to say they've taken a lot of our advice, and in conjunction with the FSA, the new board has met. Until they issue the minutes, I can't tell you exactly what was discussed, but we were involved in a meeting with the club to discuss legacy season tickets. Ourselves, two representatives from the Supporters Federation and the Supporters Association, and we agreed a draft policy with the club that they were going to put to the board last Thursday. Watch this space is all I can say.
Do we know how often this FAB will meet? And do you think there will be a direct line in the club from it on day-to-day issues? And what I mean by that is, would there ever be a sort of situation where the club could go to advice from them on certain things like the Sheffield Wednesday banner, or the FAB could go to them and sort of independently and sort of say, look, we think you've got it wrong here. Just those open channels is what I'm getting at, really.
I'd like to think so. I don't sit on that board, so I'm talking as a former member. I think it's a great opportunity. I think the plan is to meet 4 times a year. The old CAB met twice, 3 times. Meetings were cancelled, but I think there's a new attitude there now. I'm very positive. I hope it succeeds. Another item on the agenda is a Dragons points scheme.
Yeah,
we talked about. This is for tickets. This is not for discounts for stadium tours or amateur stand in the shop. Wrexham are the only club in the Championship and the football and the Premier League that doesn't have a rewards system. So if you go to, I don't know, if we were playing Middlesbrough on a Tuesday night, you get 2 points for buying a ticket and stuff. We through our work with the FSA, reviewed 28 different schemes. That's 23 Championship teams, Newcastle and Sunderland from the Premier League, Hearts from Scotland, because we want to see what they did up there, the FA of Wales, who've got a points system, and Cardiff City, because we wanted to say, well, this is what the 3 big clubs in Wales are doing.
Barry, a popular saga that's been ongoing for some time, the Racecourse lease. you love it about that, Barry.
Good grief, I wasn't expecting a question on that.
where I feel like it's, the screen on Star Wars at the start where there's a massive narrative comes down the screen. I feel like that is the lease saga. Where are we at with it?
I was told in the first week of July that the club were, from a very senior source in writing, they were 4 to 6 weeks away from signing the documents. You'll notice it's 8 weeks, and I haven't heard anything. Even if this came tomorrow, we have to go to the Financial Conduct Authority just to get it rubber stamped. That could take another up to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's all I can tell you. I don't know anymore.
It's been long running, that one, given the urgency in the initial statement from the club directed towards the trust. Ooh. Yeah.
No.
Harry, why do you feel that it's been so long? Do you think
I genuinely don't know.
Right.
The documents are there. We were told it's because they wanted to buy 3 parcels of land and there were minor changes. And I've got that categorically. It's not about the money. It's not about the covenants, which they spent a lot of money having a King's Council opinion on that to make sure that they were legally binding. I've been categorically told that it's nothing to do with that. It's minor stuff within it. So I don't know. I think you'd be better off asking the club.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair.
I know it sounds repetitive, chaps, but
yeah,
I've got nothing else to add.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. More an observation than a question, really. But I did quite enjoy seeing that, that statement on the Sheffield Wednesday issue. I thought that's exactly the sort of thing that the trust should be representing on. I guess if there is a question out of it, can we expect to see more of that stuff on issues? Hot topics affecting fans, that kind of thing.
Yes, in a word, we've now we've gone through a number of changes. You'll have noticed the new logo.
Oh,
that's the trust. When you get your membership card and your PIN badge, we've done the website. We've that's to do all sorts of procedural stuff. We've now got a social media team. Barry Healy, Dale Webb and James Barnes are our social media team. And they've got experience of doing this. So we are in the process of raising our profile. We've done it through in the background through the FSA. Now we're in direct touch with the independent football regulator. We've got a good voice now, and the comments I've had back from other supporters clubs in the championship, trust I should say, other trusts, it's been absolutely brilliant and raised our profile massively. Well, it was something I and the rest of the board we felt so strongly about, particularly the stuff that we had through the Hamilton Gutterman days. If we couldn't respond on that, what's the point of having a trust? I'll give you that.
On that note, can we say many thanks to the many Sheffield Wednesday fans who commented on the podcast last week? Here's one from Ray Cundy, who said, "I'd like to put on record our thanks to Wrexham and all their supporters for the help they've given to my club, which is greatly appreciated." And then said, on the match, it was the old football cliche of a game of two halves. Draw was a fair result. Good luck for the rest of the season, and good luck to Josh Windass, as he was a great player for us. Another one from Grubberkick Owl, who says, "What a game and typical championship fare. Thank you for all the support." So that was great. It clearly went down well with the Wednesday fans as well, and I'm sure they appreciated that comment.
And the conversation I had with the trust, the phone call I had with them, they were effusive in their praise.
Great, and best of luck to them, because I know it's a very, very, very difficult situation that they're in at the
Absolutely.
moment. Let's talk some more. And Barry, please do feel free to stay with us for this. Please do stay with us. Liam, are you in a position, although I know you've been corralling kids all day, to do a Randall Roundup? If it's no, that's fine. Because
yes, I am, because
you are.
While this has been going on, I've been looking to see what's happened in the time I've been sort of blowing up. Here he goes.
We all like to move it. Liam, tell us who's moving in and who's moving out.
Right, let's get down to business. So, Ben Sheaf from Coventry City, midfielder, by all accounts, is near enough a done deal. Apparently, come from absolutely nowhere. Seems to be a situation where maybe we've moved on quickly from other midfield targets. Rumoured to have agreed a 6.5 million fee with Coventry, and he will undergo a medical tomorrow or Monday as we're airing. So yeah,
two things on that. One, Ryan Reynolds follows him on Instagram now, and that doesn't normally happen unless they're pretty close. Secondly, looking through what Coventry fans say, they said 18 months ago he was fantastic and could have been one of the best midfielders in the Championship. Now I think he's undergone a couple of injury problems since then, and he struggles to really put a run of games together, but when he's on it, he is a class player. So we've just got to hope our medical team can grab hold of him. He passes the medical with flying colours, and we've got someone who can string 2 or 3 games together quite easily.
Yeah, it seems to be like quite a fast moving situation, because we've been linked with various midfielders. I've got updates on a couple of the other ones we've been linked with. Andy Irving from West Ham, apparently that's in doubt due to wage demands. He came on as a sub today for West Ham as they won 3-0 against Nottingham Forest. No Jordan James again for Rennes. Suggestions it's between us and Leicester, but it feels like that one's been going on forever, and I'd sort of half expect it to be further down the line than it is, going into the transfer deadline day. So
do you reckon that's why Sheaf's come about, is because they don't think they can get James over the line?
I would say so. I mean, another one which has come from left field, which I've just seen, says Wrexham and Rangers, because apparently now we're linked with all the same players. Late move for Norwich and Scotland midfielder Kenny McLean. Probably less information and less certainty on that one than with your man from Coventry.
Be good to have 2 McLeans in the team. Yeah. That won't be confusing.
No, definitely not. And the away fans will, so they could just target both of them and make sure it's the right one.
Well, if Rangers are after him, would he be the polar opposite of James McLean?
Well, I don't know. That we just seem seriously, the amount of players this summer that we've been linked with and Rangers have been linked with, and then we've ended up getting them in most cases. So
I can't see any anyone playing for Rangers who's a Republican sympathiser like James.
No.
No.
You can forget that one. If he is, he wouldn't have been playing for them. That's for sure.
One more on the midfielders front. Will Smallbone from Southampton, all gone very quiet on that front. Doesn't necessarily feel like there's much happening with that going into the deadline. And then it's all on defenders. So Bristol City's Zak Vyner. Apparently, we've now had a second bid rejected for him. Right-sided centre-back. The first bid was 1.5 million, I believe, rejected. Now we've had 2 million rejected. They see him as a key part of their team, but he's into the last year of his contract there. Quite an athletic, quite a strong centre-back. Be interested in that one because
I mean, that's
I don't know about anyone else. I was quite impressed by Max against Millwall, but it seems that Parky is keen on a right-sided centre-back by all accounts. Jack Robinson.
You've got our backup, and Max can play on the left. And maybe
Jack Robinson's also been linked from Sheffield United as well.
Yeah.
Are we after more midfielders? Because George Thomason, I haven't heard anything about him. He's not played a minute for us. For Bolton, he played 38, 39 games in the last.
Yeah.
I think Parky said he's back on.
Featured.
I think Parky potentially said he's back on grass. I think he just gave a load of injury updates after the Millwall game. So, but no, you're right. I mean, I think that's been part of the more on a tactical side of things. With Rathbone out, I think for Parky, Thomason was sort of the other option to that, and unfortunately, they've both been injured at the same time. So there's been not a lack of energy, but you know what I mean. That player who can carry the ball up and down the pitch, get a couple of tackles in. So yeah, be interesting to see. Because we clearly are targeting more midfielders, but someone I spoke to reckons that Sheaf, is it? Yeah, Sheaf is more of your Matty James type midfielder. Again, thought he had a decent game against Millwall, Matty James, but it's one midfielder where I could see potentially there being room for improvement on.
Where does this leave Elliot Lee? Because the more I hear of this sort of influx of midfielders on top of what we've already got, seems to point to me that his future is very, very limited at Wrexham now. It feels like he's going to be the next familiar face at the door following Mullin, obviously Ollie Palmer from this week, which we'll come to in a minute, but I feel he's kind of on borrowed time now with us.
I would say so. I think he's on a long deal, so I would say him being loaned out for the rest of the season, a la Mullin. I would see that happening. Look, I just think he's slightly tweaked the way we play again, and there isn't that room for that pure attacking midfielder that we've had. I think he'll change it a little bit, and I think we'll have, rather than two strikers next to each other, I think that's where the attacking sort of mid option will come in with either Broadhead or Windass when he's fit, with Hardy as another option if you want to go a bit more direct. And I just think the midfield has been redeveloped, and I think probably the one who's going to get forward most is probably going to be O'Brien.
Although James had a good game yesterday.
But can he do it? I mean, but it's a long old season for a lad who's that age.
Yeah,
his engine's not big enough, even if he does know where to put it. Tim, are you expecting many men in the building tomorrow?
You stop everything being an innuendo.
What's going on here? What are you trying to say? To be honest, I don't know. I mean, there's supposedly three. Ben Sheaf being the. I'm trying not to say Ben Sharif or Hamza Ben Sharif. I keep getting Ben Sheaf's the obvious one, which seems to be done and dusted. The other two, it's just wild. It's crazy. Like, I mean, I'm still getting used to this team. I'm sure it's like a broken record at the moment because it's completely revamped. It's a complete overhaul. Everybody's new. And when we get new ones in, they get injured. So now we've got Arthur coming back, which is great. It's just mad. It's madness. I can't get my head around it. I still can't get my head around the figures that have been flown about everywhere. But you know what? Fan bases are starting to see now. The things I've seen on social media the last few days are like, they really are going for it, aren't they? They really are giving it a crack. People are starting to sit up and take note And I think the narrative has shifted from, yeah, you're shite and you're going to go straight back down, or not in the case of Millwall fans yesterday, sore losers, but that has shifted to Wrexham will be more than fine this season based on who they're signing, based on the fact we've had a bit of a shaky month, but we've always been in those games, been in every game, third round of the Cup against Reading, scoring goals, and finally shut the door at the other end. So I think there's so many positive signs, and I think anybody with half a brain who's a respected football fan can see that we do mean business, and it's great to see. But exciting times. I'm sad about Palmer. Can we come to Palmer?
Well, I was going to say they're incredibly exciting times. We're talking about Elliot Lee there, Ollie Palmer, Paul Mullin. These are iconic players who have been with us since the National League and still played a major part until last season. And it's very sad when players leave. And the latest that we know is gone is Ollie Palmer, who's moved to Swindon. And what a high to end on, by the way, which is brilliant, ending on that incredible comeback to Hull. But why don't we just go around and talk about highlights quickly? Barry, what stands out to you when you think of Ollie Palmer? Is there a moment, is there a goal that you think of?
His first one against Grimsby. He came in, scored, I think, fantastic. I never thought, that's what we've missed. It was one of those wow, that's what we've missed.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I always thought about that's the way they introduced him in the documentary, isn't it? Welcome to Wrexham, when they compared him to that character in Game of Thrones that came in and just changed everything. Because he did, didn't we? Because we were kind of limping our way through the season. We had the players, but there wasn't something clicking, and it was that strength up front. Andy, you've seen plenty of Ollie Palmer goals and plenty of Ollie Palmer moments. Do any stand out to you in particular?
I think for me, it was the stint that he had at the start of last season, where he wasn't expected to play. I don't think we brought in the target we wanted. He was forced to play. Sorry, he wasn't forced to play, but Barkey was forced to play him. And I thought he performed manfully for us. He really did. I think he did everything that we needed that player to do at that time. And I know he didn't score a lot of goals during that period, but it's the sort of old campaigner, the warrior, bringing the experience to bring everyone else into the game is what we needed at that time. And I think that I'll always sort of remember that, coming in from the cold a little bit and performing manfully when we really needed it to give us the base to go for that second half of the season sprint to get promoted. So thanks, Ollie, for that.
Yeah.
Liam, any for you? I mean, he scored plenty at the Racecourse, didn't he, that you'd have been out of your seat for?
Yeah, not necessarily even a moment. I mean, the one thing that struck me this week is just I remember when he came in, and Ollie Palmer's someone who he's not dislikable, but his personality seems quite loud, quite brash. And, if you take someone on first appearances, sometimes you can be like, oh, I'm not sure about this guy. And I was one of those. But by the end of his time at Wrexham, I think the way his attitude has been absolutely superb. And you talk about the January situation being frozen out of the team, didn't throw his toys out, didn't do any of that. And when he's been called upon, like the whole game, he's just been absolutely superb. So I basically just want to place on record that I got it wrong on him and his mentality. When he said that he basically wants to prove people wrong and get back into the team, I think he truly did. And I've just been really impressed by that side of him.
I mean, he scored 17 goals in that season in the National League when he got promoted. That really doesn't touch his influence on the team, does it, Tim? Because he was one of those players where when he wasn't playing, it was a gaping hole in the side.
Yeah, he's just a colossus, wasn't he? I mean, basically what's happening with Keiffer Moore now is what was happening with Ollie Palmer, just at a different level. So we've just done a significant upgrade on Ollie Palmer. He's fully aware of that. He will go and be the main man at Swindon. There's no doubt about it. I think they won yesterday, 3-0 at Crewe, I think, off the top of my head. Came on and nearly scored himself. So, you know what? I think we can probably reveal this now, because it shouldn't have too much of any harm or any impact. But when we first had Rob and Ryan on the pod, a few years back, not long after they took over. On the morning we were due to publish it, Rob Mack messaged me and said, "Can you take this bit out that we said about Ollie Palmer?" And so we ended up taking it out in the end because I could understand why. But this is the story, and I hope it doesn't mind me regaling it now. But when they first met all the players and they were going around the dressing room, and Rob and Ryan said to each player, "Oh, who's the biggest arsehole in the dressing room? Who's the biggest arsehole in the dressing room?" Each one of those players said Ollie Palmer. Rob Mack went to Ollie Palmer and said, "Ollie, who's the biggest arsehole in the dressing room?" He went, "Me." So basically, self-confessed. Obviously, we couldn't publish it at the time because next minute it would have been in the papers that Rob and Ryan Brand, the then club record signing, complete arsehole. But the point I'm getting at is that you can be a bit like that, but lovable. I think I like the kind of the redemption arc of it all. That I think he's grown as a person, not just as a footballer, but as a person away from the pitch as well. That he did come in. He was a bit of a Jack the lad, sort of quite loud and brash, like Liam said. But he genuinely loves Wrexham Football Club. He loves it. And I remember him telling me when we interviewed him that he would have liked to see out his playing days here. He's virtually almost done that. And I just like it. He was so contrite and humble in that last interview when he scored those goals against Hull. And I just think he leaves a modern day legend because of what he's achieved. Because he said that nothing will ever stack up to what he's achieved in his career than those triple promotions. Because you're such a big part of everything. And you need leaders like that. Whilst he never had the captain's armband, he was one of those big leaders and characters that drove standards in that dressing room. Doesn't matter if you're in the team for 10, 12, 15 games in a row or out for 15 games. He is one of those people there that really set the bar for professionalism at this football club in the times where we really, really needed it. So good luck to Ollie Palmer at Swindon. No doubt we'll all be keeping tabs on him.
And we've lost another striker in Jack Marriott to Reading. Doesn't have the same, he hasn't been with us as long, but has been so influential and joined us at a time where he sort of quite unexpectedly, I think, in League Two, sort of slotted quite quickly into the starting lineup. And Andy, it's another one that we're quite sad to see go, aren't we, really? Even though it's just an inevitable part of our progress, really.
I think we'll always have those 6 weeks before he fell over a sprinkler. Look, he was great then. He was great. Everything he touched right in the back of the net. I did sort of feel, I feel a bit sorry for Jack because he was coming into the team when Mullin wasn't in it. And I think a lot of the fans wanted Mullin back and didn't really give Jack the chance or the love he should have got for what he did for us at that point. I thought he showed that he played at a higher level. And, once he got those games under his belt, you could see the quality. And it was just a shame that he did get injured. Otherwise, he would have been a very, very important part of that side that season. But I would say I couldn't see him get him into the team or even near the team. So he has to move on. And this is going to happen again and again. It's probably going to happen 2 or 3 times in the next day or so as the transfer window slams shut. So, thanks, Jack. We'll always look at you fondly for what you've done for us.
It's quite poetic as well that Ollie Palmer gets those goals against Hull to drag us into it, and then Jack Marriott scores the winning decisive penalty.
Yeah, last kick.
Yeah.
Last kick.
And the worry thing is, apparently he isn't cup tied, so he could play for Reading against us in the 3rd round, which is typical, isn't it? That is going to happen.
That'd be nice. I always think it's quite nice.
Well, it's not nice if he scores the winner. It could come back to bite us because we're that close now. 4th round tie. Yes, it's winnable against Reading, but with the amount of changes on both sides,
losable.
Never know. Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting down the bookies now. I know who's going to score for Reading.
Yeah. Thank you, Jack. Liam, any moments stand out to you? He scored some quite important goals in that League Two season when he joined us, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think it's hard to think of any other goal other than one he scored against Wickham, opening day of the season last season. They played it again after he went, just so perfect as a strike. Funnily enough, was it Palmer?
Palmer, yeah, it was Palmer's assist. That was a brilliant assist.
Yeah.
It's a perfect combo, and sort of a fitting moment to show for both of them when they're going, because it sums up both of their contributions for the club. Like Andy says, I think he was very unfortunate last season. Complete freakish injury. I think they showed it on the documentary, didn't they, actually?
Oh,
How
yeah,
it
they did.
happened. Yeah, and it was just one of those so unfortunate. And I think, but for that, he would have kept his place in the team. So again, it's the scale and the speed of progress at Wrexham Football Club. But we can't say anything other than thanks to these players for what they've done to us, and they've all added and contributed to our promotions. So yeah, thank you.
He's Rob Blind. Rob Blind of goal of the season, wasn't he? I know Mullin got it, but I think that was the popular player vote. I know it was a great volley again in the fog, but I mean, such a good goal. That Marriott goal was so good. So good.
Yeah, thanks to both of those players. Obviously, famous sprinkler incident. And also on Ollie Palmer, we'll never see a player like that hanging out of the boot at 3 a.m. again. Maybe we will. Maybe Keiffer Moore will be doing that next summer. Who knows? Exciting.
Just one final point I completely forgot to say, and I'm doing a top 5 Ollie Palmer moments in the newsletter. But his goal, I think it was against Bromley, outside of his boot volley.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? He just flicked it with the outside of his boot on the volley first time. It's such a good goal. I'm sure it was against Bromley.
Was it out Bromley? No, it was home.
It was away. It was definitely away. Yeah.
Well, we look forward to reading those, and if you haven't signed up for the newsletter yet, then please do. Tim, not just the men's team making an insane amount of signings, there was a big influx of players for the Wrexham women's team as well, wasn't there? You're on mute, mate. Sorry, you've done a Reece.
I've done a U. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they've signed a lot in a very short space of time. I'm just trying to get
Katie Bartle, I think, is the big one.
Jody Bartle.
Jody Bartle. So yeah, Jody Bartle and then Katie. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jody, former Celtic and Newcastle United defenders, 2-year deal. They've got Katie Barker, former Newcastle United striker.
Right, sorry, that was the one I meant. Katie Barker seems a really good one. Pro at Celtic and Newcastle.
2-year deal. So yeah, it's and then they did a triple signing the other day. Mary Mahmood, Josie Smith, Hannah Snape. I think Mary Mahmood is a Pakistan international as well. Came through ranks at West Brom. So there's been a lot. I mean, it was. We said this the other week. It was a bit quiet on the women's front for a long time, and obviously they got Jenny Sugarman as manager, and then there's been quite a few outgoings. So naturally they brought in a raft of players, and they all seem to have come along in the past 7 days or so. So a lot of rebuilding taking shape there. Not long down to their first game, I think. Can't be far off. It's next week. Off the top of my head, I'll have to double check that. But yeah, lots of incomings. And again, for those who follow the women's game quite diligently and are going to be going to a lot of the games, they've got a lot of new players, same as the men's team, to get used to again. I'm trying to figure out who's who. So yeah,
Reece, is it time for my favourite part of the week?
It is indeed. It's YouTube if you want to. And before I do pick the best comment of last week's podcast on YouTube, Barry, I got a couple here more for you. Well, there's one in particular. There were lots of people commented saying I've still been a member of the WST and never stopped and thought it was important. And one of them was Marie from SoCal, who said, "Hi, I'm in Southern California, joined the Wrexham Supporters Trust when Rob and Ryan took over. I'm proud to say I've maintained my membership ever since. Go Wrexham Supporters Trust for your part in sorting out the Sheffield Wednesday debacle." And lots of others on a similar vein too. So well done.
Lovely to read.
Comment of the week. I enjoyed this bit of insight from Staten Z1, who said, "We are missing Kakache's mobility and strength at left wing back. There's that engine, Andy. Hopefully they are just being super cautious with his hamstring with a long season to go and he'll be back soon," which he was. And hopefully that hamstring will remain intact. But the comment of the week goes to David Wood, FR5GS, great username. Last week we were discussing why maybe the team weren't gelling, lots of new numbers, and he says, I'm gonna do this in the voice that it deserves. "There's no chance of gelling while Dobbo hogs all the hair products." That's the good podcast belt.
What accent was that supposed to be?
Doesn't matter.
It was Alan Partridge, wasn't it? I don't know. Maybe that's the default. Liam's on mute. You've had a mare, mate.
You're hogging the fucking hair products, mate.
Stop swearing. Right, it's time now because there's no football next week in the Championship. There's an international break because Wales are playing Kazakhstan on Thursday. Tim, are you going to Kazakhstan?
No, it's just the wrong time of year for me, and it's a bit of a trek. And I've got England away coming up in a friendly. So I'm keeping my powder dry for that
I
one.
agreed to that on Saturday.
I'll go to Liechtenstein as well. I'll go to Liechtenstein, but yeah, Kazakhstan. We're still taking 1,000 out there, which is good. It's not been the full uptake, but it's still good. And yeah, excited to see.
Your score prediction?
I think we'll win 3-1. Keiffer Moore at the double and a Broadhead third. Lovely.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'll go with a slightly cagier 2-1, but Big Keiffer's going to be getting on the score sheet. Andy?
1-0. Tight.
Who's he? Never heard of him.
Hey, wow.
Barry, what about you?
I hate to agree with Andy, but yeah, 1-0. But Keiffer Moore. It's got to be Keiffer.
Yeah. Liam?
Can you do it in your Cockney accent, please?
No, I was just going to talk about the Dogs of War for Wales and how they're going to bring in a 2-0 win.
Okay.
Yeah. The Dogs of War will be set on Kazakhstan.
If I was working for the Star.
Very good. So I missed that. What did you say?
Dogs of War.
Jesus.
I've used that as a kicker before.
You are working for the Star, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Just checking. Cool. All right. We all know where that's come from when we see that in this week's headlines. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. As ever, please do like, comment, subscribe.
It was going so well for him, and his
finish him off. Come on, the last.
I'm not finishing him off at all.
The last innuendo of the
yeah, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and send Reese some new internet vouchers for Christ's sake.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for having me on.